If I had my choice when it comes to taking portraiture, I'd rather have 45 minutes of conversation and then jam in 15 minutes of image making, because that conversation or getting to know someone lowers the temperature in the room, trust becomes a thing. Then I start to sort of conjure up ideas, and particularly if I'm in a panic, because I generally am in a state of panic of how I'm going to make an interesting image. Originally I was going to be an illustrator, so that was something that I always planned to do. I was never going to do anything different. I was obsessed with illustration. So I went all through my high school years, went to art school, lasted 1 year in a fine art degree, and then the darkroom was a side project as part of my degree. And then I got stuck into the darkroom, and it was just the magic of the darkroom, and all of a sudden that laboriousness of illustration, there was this instant gratification of photography, and it kind of filled a big hole, well, it filled a sort of an artistic hole, and I just went, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And then just fortuitously there was a tiny little ad in the newspaper before phones, and it said cadetship, darkroom assistant at the Herald newspaper, and I went, well, I'm just going to make a folio of work, and I'm just going to turn up and I'm just going to apply for this job, and I got this job as a cadetship, and which is now known as, I guess, like an internship. And then, yeah, it just sort of grew from that. Yeah, so that's how the photography, like that part, started. I'm such a curious person about people and stories and mannerisms. So before I even pick up a camera, I think I like having a conversation. It's really strange. Like, I like hearing them talk, and I watch them, and without realizing, I think I'm observing those little quiet nuances in between the big gestures. And that's the stuff that I tend to hone in on. I don't know why. It's kind of this, I know it sounds kind of a bit weird, but it's sort of like this little trancy moment where I go from the person walks in the room, does that, sits down, introduces himself, and then starts to relax and then do sort of things. And then I latch onto that. And then I sort of hone that, and then it's like a dance, but I try and lead the dance. I kind of give and take. And then once they're really comfortable with me, then I start to talk about what we might do as an image. But I never go in with preconceived ideas. Like, I know that. I'm bad if I come up with an idea and walk in, because it's not going to work. I rely on what they do in front of me, and that is a cue for me, yeah. I sort of describe my work as quiet, and I think that I look for those little quiet gestures in between the bigger gestures, like, you know, if someone's like quite verbose and quite a loud talker because either that's who they are or they're insecure, I wait for that to come down, and then I start to sort of, you know, infiltrate my little bit, and then I sort of hone in on that part of their personality. I try to, yeah, I'll throw all that stuff aside and just put everything into that little moment, that little tiny nuance, the quiet little moment, which is what I love. Yeah, so that's what I'm sort of hunting for, and it is chance. It always ends up being chance. I shoot with my digital camera, and the first thing that people say to me is, don't you need to check the back of your screen? And I go, nah, because it'll just throw me off my game. Because if I see too much, I start to doubt myself. I think I just like living in that dreamscape of, I don't know what I'm going to get. And that was the great thing about film, was you wind it on. I don't know, I think it was good. Pull the dark slide, it looked good. So I think I had that sort of innate trust, because I was lucky enough to have been trained in film and to trust what was going to come out at the other end, that you were going to get something from those 36 frames. At some point, you only need one really great shot. Whereas digital, 2,000, 3,000, I can't edit that many pictures. I shoot digital like I shoot film. I think people think I'm lazy and I shoot and I'm taking pictures of people digitally and I go, all right, we're done. They go, is that it? And I go, well, was that disappointing? And I go, I'm sorry if I disappointed you, but I'm happy. So I still shoot digital like I'm shooting film. Like it's the war and I've got to ration it, you know. But for me, that's where I love photography. That's where I love it. You know, that's where the magic, that's like watching the print come up, you know.